Hello, and we are making salted chocolate chip cookies today. We are starting with 250 grams of unsalted butter. The recipe did call for salted butter, but we are in times of need right now, so must needs must. We have unsalted butter, softened at room temperature, cut up into cubes. To that we are going to add a half a cup of white granulated sugar, which for the Brits here, a half a cup is about 100 grams. So 100 grams of granulated sugar and a quarter of a cup of light brown sugar, which is about 55 grams. So also to this, we are going to add a little bit of vanilla. So we're just adding about a teaspoon of vanilla. I'm just going to eyeball this really. And that's good. And we're going to mix this with a hand blender for about 5 minutes or so until it gets nice and fluffy. We have no power. Also add our chocolate chips. So we have dark chocolate chips here. We have about 200 grams of dark chocolate chips. And we're just using a spoon going to mix those together now. And according to the recipe, it should be a bit like Play-Doh. So once we mix the chocolate chips in, we actually need to knead it by hand a little bit to start bringing everything together. So now the chocolate chips are nicely mixed in there. We will give our hands one little rinse. And we can see how it starts coming together. Because this is a short crust, it does seem a bit dry, but it's the butter that brings everything together. Now we've mixed our dough, and what we're going to do is we're going to refrigerate our dough using some cling film. So they should be about divide our dough in half, and that's about half there. And we want to make it into a bit of a log shape. So using our cling thumb, it should be about 2 inches to 2.5 inches in diameter, about 6 inches long. And don't need it exactly perfect, but that will do. And so we'll do that with the other one, and then we will refrigerate this for about 3 hours. We've got our 2 logs of dough ready to go. You can see they're a bit dense, but shortbread is supposed to be quite dense and they're quite heavy. So we will refrigerate these for about 3 hours, and I will see you then. Okay, now we have our nice chilled dough here. And so what we're going to do next is we have just a beaten egg. So we're going to do a quick egg wash on both of them. I'll just do it on this first one to show you. And so we'll cover that nicely with the beaten egg. Don't worry if it gets a little messy. And as soon as that is done, then we will roll it in Demerara sugar. So it's all set there. We roll it in the sugar. Pat it on there, make sure that it's nice and coated, because this will form sort of the sides of the cookies. And when that's all done, what we'll do is we'll take that and we will use a serrated knife. We will just cut lightly back and forth about 1/2 inch size cookies. Now if you hit a chocolate chip, that's fine, just keep on going, just slightly go back and forth until you cut through the chocolate chip. And so these will be your cookie rounds. And just place them on your baking sheet, about 1 inch apart. About 1 inch apart, and bake in an oven for 350 degrees or about 150 degrees Celsius for 12 to 15 minutes until you start seeing the edges crisp up and brown. Okay, so now we have about 24 cookies cut out, spaced about 1 inch apart. So these are 12 of them here. And so because they are salted chocolate chip cookies, we need to just sprinkle a little bit of sea salt on top of each one before we put it in the oven. So simple as that. And as soon as that is done, we can just pop it in the oven, 350 degrees or 180 degrees Celsius, between 13 and 15 minutes. So we will see you when these are done. So here we are after about 15 minutes in the oven. We'll just leave these to cool for a little while, and then they will be ready to eat with a little bit of ice cream or a big glass of milk.